The beginning of the end. That is exactly the phrase that I would describe where the price of Bitcoin is heading into right now. I know it may sound bearish, but hold on, it's not. This is a very, very good thing. Bitcoin's price action is entering into the stage where now we're going to continue blasting off into the final leg of the Bitcoin bull market, where we enter what is called the banana hella season. This is when, if you open a long position on any coin, including Bitcoin, you're gonna enter into profit. So if you want to be trading Bitcoin, you can go to the first link in the description down below to Coinflare to double your deposit up to $5,000. This is just a limited campaign only, so make sure that you take advantage of it. But Bitcoin is entering into the spot where now, essentially, until the end of August, we will keep on going up. All coins will see an increase towards that August to Q4 area. And yeah, in 2021, Q1 of 2026, we will come to an end of this bull market. But that's okay because we still have time to leverage Bitcoin and make money using Bitcoin. And we will talk about where I think the price of Bitcoin will go, why this chart in front of you is super, super important, and why it tells you that we're not going to just have a fake out. We will actually continue breaking to the upside and much, much more. So stick around until the end. Make sure you destroy the like button if this video is interesting and it's useful for you, and subscribe to become a crypto kid if you want to see more content like this. And with that said, if you've done that, we can jump straight into today's video. Now, yesterday I posted over on Twitter and on the Crypto Kids Telegram community, which you can join for free using this link in the description. I post my analysis and thoughts on the market when I cannot make a video. So I posted this descending triangle, and I said we can likely see the breakup and close the 108.3 over on Telegram because that's where the CME gap is located, but I didn't expect this massive push to the upside. The reason we saw this is because President Trump yesterday went to the media and said, guys, you know the tariffs that I introduced on Friday to the EU, which will be initiated on the 1st of June, 50% tariffs? Well, I'm going to delay this to July 9th. And guess what? The EU wants to make a deal ASAP. So this completely reversed the bearishness of price action that took place on Friday. And we basically closed the gap between the price action. So that's great. The market is completely cleared out and zeroed the difference that was created due to the EU tariffs. And I told you that whatever the price is now during this dip, buy, because regardless of if these tariffs get implemented or not, the market will not care after some certain period of time. So please buy into Bitcoin if you've been waiting on the sidelines during this dip, because nobody cares about these tariffs. Like, they just fade away. It's a narrative. And that's exactly what happened because we pumped back again. So congratulations if you were able to buy into Bitcoin during this dip here. I certainly did. I buy Bitcoin daily, and my daily buy-in yesterday was at 107, and that was a pretty lucky entry. So good. The tariffs are now delayed until July 9th, and it looks like the EU wants to be making a trade deal with the US. I told you on Telegram, I said that, the reason why they're doing these tariffs all of a sudden on the EU is because it looks like when you go into the bond market, people were freaked out. The popularity of bonds dropped significantly last week. The 30-year went to a 5.1% interest rate. That just goes to show that people are really not interested in buying into treasuries. They held the auctions. The Fed hosted auctions to sell more bonds to refinance the $7.6 trillion they need to refinance this year. And barely anybody showed up. And that was a bit of a warning sign, because if they cannot refinance their $7.6 trillion in debt, then America goes bankrupt. So I think what Trump did here was he inflicted fear on the market on Friday, and he gave signals of a potential recession, because that's what tariff translates into according to traders. And because we got warning signs of a recession, bond yields immediately dropped by 1 full percentage point, as during a recession, the safest bet is bonds. So they were able to sell more bonds because of that recessionary fear and refinance a lot more money by a 1 whole percentage point lower in terms of interest on what the American government would have had to pay to people that would purchase the bonds off of them. So I hope that makes sense. They inflicted recessionary fears. They dropped the bond yields down, created more interest for people to go ahead and buy those bonds, which is why more people buying means the interest rate comes down. So they were able to refinance a lot of money, which will go towards the $7.6 trillion of debt that America has to pay off investors this year. I think that was the entire plot behind introducing tariffs on the EU out of nowhere on Friday. and they've brought it back down again. Or in fact, they said they will delay it, and we can check what the US 30-year looks like after they announced that the EU tariffs will be delayed. So it came down to 4.98% on the 1 hourly. We can go to the daily. So it came down all the way to 4.98, and now it's bounced back to 5% after them saying that we will come to a deal, most likely, and therefore recession is not coming. So that's the bond market, and that's the effect of the price action that Bitcoin has seen. When the bond market came back up, the price of Bitcoin went back up too. So now we're trading at 109.8. I still think it's a good time to buy. Why? Because we've created an all-time high last week with the derivative score being at 2. So the derivative score being at 2 is an incredible thing. It means that the market is going up, not because of levered traders pushing the price to the upside. No, it's because there is spot demand, institutional demand into Bitcoin that wants to just keep on buying it every single day. It's not levered traders that are pushing the price up. Therefore, there is no risk of massive liquidations, which would draw the price to lower territories. This is what happened when Bitcoin first hit 100K. There was a lot of levered traders pushing the price up, which caused a market flush. That happened when we first hit 71K last March in 2024. Right? Price entered a downward spiral for 7 months before continuing to the upside. Same thing happened in Bitcoin ETFs. It led to a dump. And you can see that multiple times in history, specifically at the prior all-time high in 2021. Now, Bitcoin is creating new all-time highs, but derivatives risk is very, very low. This just tells me that now we're not going to see like a huge flush in the market and come down again. I think we will continue rising to the upside, which is also why I think being in long positions and continuously buying Bitcoin during these days is a very good idea, because by summer of this year, I'm expecting a Bitcoin strategic reserve and also a price to be a Bitcoin price trading at $150,000. JD Vance is speaking at the Bitcoin conference this week. I think we can get some bullishness out of that too. So I think it's a great time to be exposed into Bitcoin. And altcoins should see their pump in Q4 of 2025 and then top out in Q1 of 2026. Talking about bullishness, Michael Saylor bought Bitcoin yesterday. We don't know exactly how much. In approximately like 10 minutes time, we should see exactly how much Bitcoin he bought, but he's buying. He doesn't care. He's always buying the top. I'm always buying the top. And truly, that is the way to make money from Bitcoin. If you constantly buy the top and hold for a minimum of 4 years, you're going to make money with Bitcoin. That is how Bitcoin works. That's the magic of Bitcoin. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, destroy the like button. And with that said, guys, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all over on the Moonshow channel in 2 hours time. Take care. And as always, bye.